Yes, guys, how are we doing? Hope you are all well. Welcome back to the Peaking It Real podcast, episode number 23. And we've had a short hiatus, which has been my fault, to be fair. I'll take the blame for that. But we're back. We're back. How are we doing, bro?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we apologize for the little hiatus. It wasn't all your fault. It was I rescheduled once and then the
I think
domino
you were
effect.
rescheduling my reschedule, and it was just you were trying
Yeah,
to squeeze
and
me
it
in,
just
to be fair.
and the next we're just it's been a while. So a lot has probably happened since the last episode because I'm pretty sure that one was like before Christmas, was it?
Can you hear that?
That there we go. That explains that. Oh yeah, that was
That
like
explains the
before Christmas.
hiatus, yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just before Christmas, wasn't it? 22nd?
I think
What's
so.
it been?
Yeah.
3 weeks? 2 weeks?
I think it's just been over 2 weeks, and people have
Just over
been
2 weeks,
begging.
yeah.
People
Yeah.
have been begging for the return, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We're back now. Do we want to go into why we're taking a break? Well, why we did take a break?
Oh,
People know
basically,
already, though.
Norman's had some surgery and I've had to be looking after him all day, every day. And if you can hear growling and crying in the background, that's him. And he's been sound all day. And now he's just booting up a fuss.
So it might be a short one, or it might just be a bit all over the place. But we're gonna get it done. But we're back. We're
We're
back.
back.
But how are you anyway, bro? Apart from obviously Norman's issue going on, how
I'm
are
just,
things?
I'm just, sorry, guys. I'm just going to
You
hop
good?
in.
It did work. We've had a chat before. Obviously, we had a little debrief before we start the podcast. Get all the real conversations out of the way. Um,
Yeah. I'm
and
just,
he was fine on your lap when you were doing it.
yeah.
That's perfect, bro. That's gonna bring in views.
Yeah.
Oh, clickbait, right? We're clickbaited straight away. The
There we
first
go.
ever guest.
Yeah, the first guest.
First guest.
I'm all good, bro. I'm all good. I had a nice Christmas, New Year. Um, we're in a diet. We're like 2 weeks into a diet, which I'm absolutely loving. I mean, I think it's probably the best feeling in bodybuilding, the first few weeks of a diet, when you've pushed food so high, felt slow, sluggish for so long. And when you
Mm,
just feel efficient again, mobile, and you just kind of like look forward to your meal and I'd love a bit more of that. Where you've spent
yeah.
the last 3 months like, I don't want to finish it. I think it's a nice feeling. So yeah, diet's going well. And overall, yeah, just feeling good. Looking forward to the season kicking off soon, which is 10 weeks away this weekend now, first regional of the year. Which I've got Sophie in bikini, who's brilliant. She's really good. And Tom Pedders in classic, and Tom's fucking peeled already. Um, but as I said, he's managed to a year and a half of work together, and
Mm,
every phase we've done has been in preparation for the next phase. And since we started together, it's been setting up his prep starting point. That's
yeah.
18 months of setting up what he's going to look like when he starts prep.
Yeah.
And so 6 weeks in, he's already like
Pretty
two
much
weeks
already.
out. Yeah. So we're just
You
holding
know.
it really. His lower body's, he's got lots of niggles. We've really fought hard to bring his lower up. He does
Okay.
so much physio. Half of his lower body day is like fucking plyometrics and box squats, and just that's all been prescribed externally.
Okay.
And so he has high days a week all around his lower body day just to
Mm.
preserve that tissue. So yeah, he's doing brilliantly. So I'm very much excited for that.
Is that your first prep with him?
First prep with him, yeah. He prepped
Yeah.
previously. I don't know if he was a junior or not. Um, but yeah, it's his first prep with him, yeah. So it'll be good.
It's funny because I did you put either post or a story up about that, and it's kind of like we talked about before, like the gone are the days of like pushing body weight to the extreme in an off season.
Yep.
Because if you can handle, like you said, handle each phase in preparation for the next phase, which is so fucking funny when you think about it, because everything you do now
Yeah.
is for the next thing you do,
Yep.
and it never ends.
No,
You know.
never.
But if you can handle it, obviously he's probably handled everything to perfection, right? But even if you could handle it like to like 90% of that, the next real phase, like the next prep, is going to be so much easier. One to predict, but two just to navigate
Yeah.
across the board.
I think, look, when you're prepping, you're prepping. I think if you could treat the off season as much like a prep as you can,
Hmm.
and then just give that 5% to family and
Yeah,
to
bro.
a friend, And
Yeah,
that's it. I think that is the balance. That's like everyone talks about balance. I
that is
think
it.
the balance is just giving back to them and spending that 5% within the family settings,
Mhm.
one settings, the friend settings, and then the rest. That's it. Like just lock in.
Bro, I've always said, right, like for me, the perfect off season is a prep, but it's just removing the negative sides of a prep,
Yeah,
like the low energy, the not being able to, like the restriction to a degree, right? But you also wouldn't go and just eat everything in an off season.
no,
But when you are like, you could go for a family meal, obviously, and have something, or you could go for a family meal, take your own meals. But the fact that you just have energy and want to be there
yeah.
is more than you were doing in a prep. So you
You
take
haven't
away
got
the
the
extremes of
anxiety
a
of
prep.
going or the,
Yeah,
you know,
I've got to go to bed, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
so yeah, that's exactly it. And when you say balance, and that, to be honest, that's what I've learned over the last year, probably the last years, like the balance aspect, which I used to have more balance, but it wasn't balance. It was just I wasn't a bodybuilder. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was you were going. I was going too far away from being a bodybuilder. Whereas now it's like I said, it's treating everything like a prep, but having that little bit of giving time to family, giving time to my missus, knowing when to take a little bit of a step back, and that's it. But everything else is the exact same.
yeah. That's like, and the thing it's like with off-plan meals and whatnot. Just be. Do you need to sit and have Domino's with Netflix in bed? Like, does that
Yeah,
reflect your actions and what you want, or
yeah,
save it and cook something with the missus and have that time together? Go out for food with the family and
yeah,
like, do it properly.
yeah.
That's not like just really necessary, is it? In my opinion.
I mean, I'm sure there's a time and place where everyone goes to pure gluttony. I want a Domino's, but you wouldn't do it
I don't
every
mean
weekend. Do you know
specifically
what I mean?
Domino's, but yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
yeah, yeah, no,
your
no.
weekly off plan. Let's try not to
Yeah,
have the in
but
bed
that's what I
Netflix
mean.
and chill
Yeah,
Domino's side. So like, let's do
yeah,
something. Let's be productive. Even make that balance a bit productive. Like,
yeah,
well, if I'm going to take time away from my goal and my bodybuilding, it's going to be a reason for it. I'm going to love this time with my
yeah.
family, with my girlfriend or
It
whatever.
has to water something else. It
Yeah,
has to, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
If you take it away from this, it has to give to something else.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is,
100%.
man. I could agree more. Like, and I'm not saying, man, fucking hell, if you want to eat Domino's once again, yes. But if you do it every weekend, yeah, it comes to a point you're like, what, are you actually doing this for a reason, or are you
Yeah,
just doing it because, yeah, you know? But yeah, it is all a learning curve, and funny, I was literally talking to my brother about that yesterday, about just like the more you do all of this, the more you learn, but not just like in bodybuilding, it's just like in everything. Like you learn how you're like, wait, I can be a boyfriend or a son, whatever it is, and still do everything I'm doing. And they don't actually give a fuck.
no, nothing
They
changes.
really
No.
don't. As long as I'm happy and they're like, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm really happy. They're like, sweet, we're good. You know, and that might, I'm sure that's my case as well as others, but I'm like, there's so many times where I like, you know, me and Lara will be like, should we go out on a date night, you know? Not out, but date night, right? And then we'll go to do it, and then we're like, we trained, we get
Bro,
home, we're
every
like,
time,
we're a
every
bit
time.
tired. And the other day, bro, my mum cooked chili for her and my dad, and me and Lara were like, that's the off plan.
Yeah,
That's it. Let's sit down. We sat down with
we're the
my
same.
parents. We sat by the table, talked for 2 hours, bro. That was it. I was like, sweet, good.
We're the same, bro. We've got halfway somewhere before in the car, and I've spun it round because we're both like, "Do you really want to do this?" And we're like, "No." Like Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, we had a Greek booked in Beverly, and we ended up not going because it got to it, and we were like, "We instead there's this really nice, about 10 minutes drive away, like it's such in the middle of nowhere. This Indian, but it's like a grill, like an Indian grill. So we
All
get
right.
literally just get chicken, and it's not
Yeah.
any sauce, but it's like grilled, so it's on the grill, so it's really nice. I'll get a naan, and we'll have some rice, and they have these like gluten free because obviously Megan's gluten free. These like I swear it's made out of cauliflower, the batter, and they're like chicken
Oh, yeah.
nuggets, but they're like succulent chicken, and it's like battered cauliflower batter around it, bro. They're
Yeah, yeah.
unbelievable. We picked up some of them on New Year's Eve, and it was just chicken and rice, but cooked a bit differently. And then we just chilled and then went to bed. But I mean, we're a little bit extreme, like
Yeah, 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 you two are.
yeah, we are quite bad.
I'm so bad.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, we had a good New Year's Eve.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, do you know what I done? I had fucking cheese and crackers, and we just didn't even make it to New Year's. My parents were in bed by like 9. I was in bed by 10. Watched the film,
Yeah,
gone. Woke up for a piss, saw some fireworks, went back to bed. It was like that was it, and it's just like, do you know when you say like, oh, we'll go out and we'll do stuff? It is just at the end of the day, in anything you do in life, it's like, do I actually want to do this?
I know.
Or like, am I happy just doing the same shit every single day? Yes. Then why do I feel the need to do anything else?
I always say that just reconfirms that you're doing the right thing. And I say that to Megan all the time because, like, sometimes she'll, I can't remember why it was the last time we did it. Oh, it was being away at Christmas for 3 nights with my parents. And then we went to my auntie's. I had an absolutely lovely time. It was amazing. But just being out of our routine, bro, even like cooking on different pans winds me up, and being in different kitchens, stuff like that. Just like, just not
Yeah,
mine. It's not in my house. And we ate well over Christmas, but we did have like, say, ham with some carb that was like already cooked, the leftovers. And we just could not wait to get back. You're
yeah,
chomping at the bit. And I just say it's not a bad thing to feel because it just shows that it just reconfirms that, okay, another year's gone by and you're still in the right place, loving what you're doing.
yeah,
When it gets to the point where you go, actually, I want to do and live this way, that's when you
yeah.
probably tapped out of bodybuilding and it's time to hang the boots up and then just train
Mhm.
and intuitively eat and stay healthy, but be a little bit more flexible. Because everyone's got a ceiling within this. You're not here
Yeah.
50 more years. But if another year goes past and you're still like, I'm chomping at the bit to get back to it, you're in the right place. Absolutely.
And do you know what? I can really resonate with that because this year I was looking forward to Christmas even more because it was the first time I prepped in a while going into Christmas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought I could enjoy it a bit more because I'm not so conscious of the like a 4 weeks post show. I need to be la di da di da. And last year, I remember coming out of prep, really looking forward to Christmas. Obviously, enjoyed Christmas, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to get back to it." But this year, I was like 10 times more ready to get back to it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and I was always like surprised. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I cannot wait. Like, it was like Boxing Day, and I was like, "Oh, do I train Boxing Day? I'm not sure." And then Boxing Day come, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely training." I was
Yeah.
like, I could
You
not
did.
wait to train. I
Yeah.
was like, and and that. Don't get me wrong, I love the life I live, but now and again, until you take a little bit of a step away from it, you don't realize it. And then I had people, like I said, I took 2 days off of Christmas from like checking in, and then I woke up Boxing Day, no one checked in, right? And I was like, fuck, because I took the day off, and I was like, fuck, what do I do? And then it was so nice, but it was so nice to want to just get back to
Yeah.
waking up, like we said, right? Waking up, having a coffee, taking your subs, doing that shit, getting
Yeah.
to work, cracking on, having a pre-meal, go to the gym. And like our days are so similar,
Mm-hmm.
but it's because we love them. We don't need highs and lows. We just
No.
need this.
Yeah.
And when we get a high, it's amazing. But we're so happy just to return to the norm again
Yeah.
because we appreciate every single high. Then. Like me and Laura are going away on Monday, right? She's booked a getaway for us, part of my Christmas present. And long story short, she messaged me like 2 weeks before Christmas. She said, "I want you to describe your perfect scenario where you wake up. What does it look like?" And I described this place to a fucking T, right? And she's booked. It's got a sauna, bro. It's got a sauna, outdoor bath. It's got like honestly, she showed me the video, bro, and I cannot wait to go. But I know both of us, right? We'll go there. We'll love it. Come Wednesday when we're coming home, we'll rush home to get back home because
Yeah.
we'll be like, yeah, we want to train, we want to do this, and there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than looking forward to going away just as much as you look forward to coming back.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Um, whereabouts is it? Do you know?
Herefordshire.
Hereford.
It's like Hereford, yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Hereford. It's like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like between me and Gloucester, kind of. It's like in the middle somewhere. But I have to send you it. It looks fucking
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah,
It's got
definitely. Has
outdoor
it
sauna.
got your own sauna then? Have you?
It's
Cool.
bro.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Lara will have to send you to you. She's got it all linked. It's like
Yeah.
it's got outdoor sauna. It's a pod. It's an outdoor bath.
Nice.
It's on a lake, right? And there's a boat that you can take out if you want.
Sick.
Don't know about
Yeah.
that. They're like, if you take the boat, just don't drink. Otherwise, I don't drink anyway, so you're right. Yeah, and it's got like a steam room. It's got everything, bro. And she showed me the video, and I was almost like, oh shit. And it's got like an outdoor fire pit. You can cook on and stuff like that. It just
Sick.
looks it's perfect to just like relax for a couple of days. So like I said, I look forward to that, but I already know, and we'll both be like it. We'll just be ready to get back to it, you know?
Yeah. No, that's
And
really,
that's everything.
that'd be good. That'd be wicked, bro.
Yeah, I like to, I do look forward to it. What else? Just funny, right? This is how long hiatus was before we got on you. I was trying to set up my camera, right? And I've completely forgot how I used to do it. I was moving my
Right.
ring light and I was like this. I was like,
Bro, this is different to how you normally do it, though.
is it?
Not better. Normally, you've got black bars on the side.
Oh,
Normally,
it's
the
gone
aspect
now, is it?
ratio, they're gone. Yeah, yeah, you're fully,
Oh
you're
shit,
full
yeah,
screen.
we're free. I'm a pro now, that's why.
Yeah, yeah, you've cracked
I'm
it, bro.
great.
You needed the break. No,
Yeah, I
you
needed the
needed the
break. I
break.
probably needed the break. That makes sense though.
I'll
Have
tell
we
you something
got
else. So I want to touch on.
one?
I know we said so in this pod we'll discuss kind of going assisted and traits
Yeah,
to know when you're ready. So what I want to touch upon because we've had a little chat about this is copying people and doing the same thing. Uh,
yeah.
and just because someone else does it doesn't mean that you need to do it within bodybuilding.
Mm,
And kind of finding your way and what works for you.
mm.
I think it's a big trend with young bodybuilders at the minute. And obviously, we were heavily influenced when we were younger as well. Um,
Yeah,
but I think nowadays it's just become a little bit extreme.
yeah,
And I feel like people train in specific ways, act in specific ways, almost to just say they do,
mm,
just to almost wear it as a. I know you did that post about a badge of honor, but almost to wear this as an identity, like to prove I'm a bodybuilder. I like this. This is my
mm.
life. I'm so hardcore. I love this. What's wrong with your take on it, man?
Oh, I was biting my tongue there not to interrupt you, but I think it is. I think it's more like it's a new, almost like a new era age thing, isn't it?
Mm.
And I do think it's. I fucking I've put posts out about this before about like adopting just like thought process of other people's and like other people's like opinion and adopting it as your own. So, you take something that someone's done and you just take that as gospel and then you preach that without ever actually like challenging it, if that makes sense, or actually considering it. Is it right or is it wrong? And I think when it comes to all this, like I said, that post I put up today, it's like there is no right and there is no wrong, but don't be afraid to just find your little way of doing things. Like take things into consideration, but just because if someone says something, it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. But just trial it, give it a go,
Yeah.
make your adjustments with what it is, and then go forward with it instead of like you said of like the whole. I wouldn't even say it's almost like a fitting in, and you can. Do you remember those like memes? You'd be like, oh, it'd be like the starter pack meme. Have you seen those? And I feel like that's what like it is now, especially in the UK. It's like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I don't want to call anyone because if I start describing people, they'll be like, "Fuck, that's me."
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Especially,
know?
I think it's like a bit of a I'm coached by starter pack.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of going down. I was like, and then you can see, you could probably look at someone and without looking at them or going on their profile, be like, I either know who they're coached by or
Yeah.
who their circle is.
Yeah. Agreed completely. And it's sad because you should take inspiration from everyone and
Mm,
you should be yourself. And it comes down to like I had a client who I spoke to about his own training. Um, And I said, look, obviously I program all your training and this is your split and these are your exercises. But I said, but don't be afraid to have your own identity within that program. Don't be afraid to reach out and you check in and say, look, Tim, I like this with higher reps. I want this and we can tweak it and give me that feedback back. Like there is no one size fits all and there isn't. And when it comes to even training modalities, it doesn't matter if you're high volume, low volume, this, that, you just accrue the same effective reps over a session. It's just how you get there and do it. Like
mm,
there's a resurgence with training across the board, and it is just some level of progressive overload over a period of time, collating effective reps close to failure. Whether them effective reps have come 6 sets deep because you do high volume, if that's what you want to do, most Mr. Olympia winners have done it, fair play. Or if you want to collect them 6 effective reps on set 1 with 1 all-out set and you fucking send it, then send it. Find what works for you. Find what gets you going. What makes you want to... It's not just in what grows you the best. What makes you want to go to the fucking gym? What do you enjoy in there? And feed that back to your coach, whoever your coach is. Like, you should be able to accept... It's not criticism, but you should be able to accept feedback as a coach.
Oh yeah, funny enough, that's literally something I do with a lot of my clients. It's like, I'll give my input, I'll explain it, but I'll be like, look, if this isn't fun or sustainable for you, it's not going to work. So there has to be an element of your like you say, personality is the best way to describe it, within this training block, within this split. Like, and realistically, man, if you had a training split, right, or a setup, and 85% of it was like on the money, but the other 15% was just fun because you wanted to do it, you wanted to do the incline barbell press, right? You're still going to progress. You're still gonna, like you said, as long as everything is ticked, you're still gonna progress. And now, is there going to be a more optimal exercise? And yes, but then I do believe you get to the point where you overthink and stress about things so much that takes away from the whole training anyway. Because you're constantly trying to be like, this could be better, this could be better, this could be better. And you don't fully actually enjoy your training because you're always trying to look to improve it.
Yeah. I mean, look, if someone, if for person A, upper lower is the most optimal split for them, right? It's the most optimal. It ticks off everything they need for their physique, and they fucking hate it. And they'd rather do a bro split, and they put more effort, less stress into a bro split. I'd rather them have the bro split, and they'll progress way more doing the bro split, despite it being way less optimal on paper. Yeah. And, you've got to have, as young coaches listening, you've got to have the ability to adapt. It's like a fucking manager in football that just plays 3-4-3 and will never change. What happened to managers in game changing formation to block the other team's formation? Like, why is it? No, we play this way, 6-0 down at half time, and we're still coming out with 3-4-3 and stuff. Like, why is it not, adapting as we go along? And I think that's lost a little bit, most definitely, because it is like just camps of black and white.
Yeah.
And
you have to train this way.
Bro, look, young lads that are stuck in their way of copying, idolizing, the ceiling for them in the sport is limited. The time within the sport is limited. Because if you're adopting a persona that's someone else's, bro, doesn't matter what you do in life, you're not going to do it for long. It's not going to last.
No.
And you get found out pretty fucking quickly.
But you do see it time and time again. Like, you do. And I think from the outside looking in, like, you could look at it and think, what the fuck? Like, what? Not like, why are you doing that? It's each to their own, but you can almost see it like you said, you're giving yourself limited time. But I feel like a lot of these, I'd like to think, is a lot of the people, just like we did, they'll start to figure shit out.
Yeah.
And I think when you start to mature and go through years of not just fucking bodybuilding, but life, you start to realize that you will find your way, and it's okay for your way to be different. And if someone questions your way, and because they think theirs is better, that's okay as well. It's okay for someone else to have a different opinion on what you do in every aspect, or like, and you don't have to explain yourself every single time to allow those people to like agree with you almost. You don't need like the pat on the back, you don't need the affirmation like, oh, you're doing okay. It's like, just figure it out. You figured it out. I figured it out. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I think what you could take from this is, like, as you do this, the longer you do it, you do realize, and it's always been this way, it is pretty fucking simple.
Yeah, it is incredibly simple.
It is
incredibly simple. I also think the longer you do it, the more you realize how incredibly simple it is. But I also think the further you get away from the answers.
Because it's Yeah, but it's like, man, you go to a door, you open a door, and there's two more doors, and then
Yeah,
you open those, and then there's four, and
yeah,
it forever multiplies, right? And you will always continue to question yourself, and I'm sure there's been times in your own bodybuilding journey, within your coaching, where you'll do something, and then an hour later you might question it,
yeah.
and you go, "Fuck, what?" But yeah, and then, but if you're constantly stuck in that cycle, you'll never actually apply time to anything to actually see if if there is an actual outcome from it, or a positive outcome, because you're constantly chasing something that's different and new. And I feel like that is it's cool to always look for improvement, right? But at the end of the day, it is very simple. We just choose to not overcomplicate it, but look for reasons to improve what we're doing. But it could be a never ending
Yeah.
like spectrum of stuff that we can do, you know?
It's like you work your way up to 90%, and then how can I improve to get the next 99? It's how can I get to 99.9? 99.9 is how
Yeah.
can I get to 90? That's the same with your own bodybuilding. It's the same with a coach. You people will think, oh, Tim's such a good coach, he knows all this. But all I think about is the things I don't know. All I think about
Yeah.
is the things I want to know that probably have no relevance to. I'm waiting for that one client to come to me with this fucking issue that I'm trying to learn about, but like it's piqued my interest. An issue that I never knew about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you're just always constantly learning, but constantly getting better as well.
I think the other thing, right, is also I think this might be harder for people to do now, but I find it pretty not easy, but easier is like doing things that I've never done before and being okay to try and new things,
Yeah, yeah,
and open to it, because whatever I've done to get me here was not always the same.
yeah, yeah,
And there was always a shift in something I'd done, right? And I would change something, and the majority of it has remained, but like the approach to what I do is slightly different,
mm-hmm.
And I was as simple, right, as overthinking the other day of like training arms, right? So I'm trying to bring up my arms, and I thought, okay, I've always done X, Y, and Z, but I've always neglected A, B, and C because there was no reason for me to do them, and I've started doing them, right? And I'm like, maybe this was the answer all along, but I was just so like, I guess, egotistical to think, no, no, that doesn't work, right? And
Yeah,
I'm going to give it a go. Yeah, I'm going to give it a go, And it's not like, don't get me wrong, right? It's not doing like fucking drop sets and all this stuff. It's just changing like exercise and how I perform them and
yeah.
thinking about other things. But I'm always open to that.
But even
I've
if it was
always been
drop
open
sets,
to it.
bro, even if it was,
Yeah, exactly.
sometimes you've
Yeah.
got to look at a physique, bro, and you've got to go. I train low volume. I train to failure. I train super low volume. I train this style. I've got wicked quads. My chest is great. I do everything with perfect execution, but my back's weak. My biceps are weak. And now for 10 years, I've trained in this specific way. Maybe just these body parts actually need to be trained a little bit different for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Bro,
and
that
sometimes
happened with my back.
science doesn't actually equate to real life bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you've got to take a look back and go, okay, well, I'm kind of an idiot if I do the same thing forever and never get the result that I want out of that.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. Let me train it a different way. Let me see. Let me add something new into that same session.
Yeah.
It does no harm at the end of the day.
No, that's literally what happened with my back training. I've said this before. It's like I essentially just changed everything I'd done. I took a lot more control over the exercise I was performing, and it wasn't like, oh, I can really feel this. It was, yeah, I could feel it. I can actually feel it pulling through my lat now, and now I'm just going to get really strong on it. But as I get stronger, don't worry about the actual number I'm lifting, because for example, if I'm doing a barbell row and I'm really shit at doing barbell rows, don't get caught up in trying to get the 3 plates aside. If you can have a shit back. And I've done 3 plates of size on barbell rows, and I've fucking RDL 240 for reps, and I've always had a shit back. But now I'm the least strongest I've been in numbers wise, but I'm actually the strongest I've been because I'm actually pulling through my fucking back. And it's the most my back's ever improved.
But there's someone that does all them things and the back grows,
Oh, bro,
right?
look at fucking hell. There's so many people out there that could do just pull up dumbbell rows and,
That
and
look like
single arm
shit.
dumbbell.
That don't even move the target muscle, but they fucking grow like a weed.
Yeah.
Fair play to them, right?
Hmm.
But yours doesn't work like that. But you
No.
could maybe do it on your quad, and it might do it.
Bro,
Like,
I was gonna say, but when it comes to quads, man, I think I could do whatever the fuck I want,
so
and
then,
I feel it.
so there's the merit between your
Exactly. Yeah.
into individuality within your own muscle groups, right? I
Yes.
can think of
Yes.
people that have got like fucking nuts backs and posterior chains that grow like shit, but then when it comes to the pressing, when they do the same thing, then the chest isn't great.
Yeah.
It's like it's trial and error. It works, and I think obviously I coach Jack, but Jack does his own training,
Mm.
and I think that's because when you coach someone like you, you're such high level, right? You're not only so such high level, but you've done it for a decade.
Yep.
You also know your body so much. I've got
Yeah.
no issue with that. Clients within the coaching process don't expect to want to do your own training, your own this, your own that. But I think giving feedback is key, and coaches should take that on board as well.
Oh yeah,
It's almost
absolutely.
like feedback in a prep. I'm tired. Well, your first prep, you're probably going to feel more. You're going to think you're tireder than you are because you've never experienced it. When you prep someone who's prepped 6 times, their feedback in a prep fucking like gold dust compared to the
Yeah.
first timer, right?
Yeah.
But you still do listen to the first timer, but then you might say your coach might say to you, actually, I've seen this so many times. Let's stick with this for now. You'll get through it. Or they might say, absolutely, let's change it and give it a go.
Mhm.
But there's no harm in giving feedback, particularly within training and how it feels to your coach. It's the same
Oh
as
no.
giving feedback for how your digestion is after a meal. Your coach
Yeah.
turn around and go, no, but that works. Well, yeah, I can't digest it.
No, I know, but I read a study. Broccoli is good.
Yeah,
Trust me.
like, no, you must have the oats. Like,
Yeah, you have to have them. Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I think there's definitely it always results back to what got you in the gym sometimes in the first place as well. I think, well, why do you go?
Bro,
Why do you
yeah.
go? Because I certainly don't go to fucking to think about dead relatives and and channel
Yeah.
dead relatives from the grave to give me extra strength within the session.
Yeah.
It might work for some. I personally don't, but yeah, that's I go I want to have fun in there, and that ain't fun to me.
Bro, look, we've talked about this like ourselves, and I've always thought like when people think of bodybuilding and shit, like when I think of bodybuilding, I don't think like dark demons, you know? I think the complete opposite. I
Well,
always
we
have.
send each other reels of like the 90s and Lavrone and
That,
whatnot,
that's
pulling
literally what I
up with
think.
the like
And I
having
but
fun, training like fucking crazy with each other, pushing each
yeah.
other so much, having fun.
Mm. But I don't like this might be right because of how I got into training. Like obviously lived in Spain, sun was shining, right? We would train inside and outside, right? So maybe my idea of bodybuilding, I'm like it was all sunny and fucking sunshine and rainbows, right? But that's one thing I noticed in like UK culture, especially. It's dark. Like it has to be dark, you know? Like I'm going to the gym. I've been thinking about this all day, and there's so much just like emotion and aggression in people
Yeah,
when it comes to and I don't look, I'm not knocking anyone. It's all about approaches, right? And you figure out. But to me, I've always thought it's a bit like it's just a bit too much. You know, 'cause I think the body, but like training is like for me is the best one of the best parts of my day.
yeah.
You know, it is one of the best parts is going to the gym. Again, whether you feel great or not, but I don't go to the gym and then
Hard.
not self-harm, I guess, but yeah, I don't put myself through mental torture to get a little bit more out of a rep. You know,
No,
I feel like that is a very, very negative like
yeah.
correlation to have towards the thing you love the most. It's
I
like a
think
toxic
it's
relationship.
not sustainable. It's super
No.
toxic. I agree. It's toxic.
Mm.
It's not sustainable. And my personal opinion is if you can only lift at that perceived maximal load by having to do that, I think you need to reshape the way you train and think to get to that maximal load. Like
Yes.
you should be able to switch on in a different way to do that within the gym.
Yes.
And as we've said before, like look at anyone that's ever been good at the sport, and no one's done that. I'm sorry.
Bro, like, I I couldn't agree more because if you all it's almost like I don't know it's like taking a pre-workout, right? And also I know it's not to the certain extent, but it's imagine you always have to take that pre-workout to get that +1 on a lift.
Yeah.
it comes to a point where it is going to be a detrimental like effect of that pre or whatever it is. So if you can go in the gym every single week and progress without needing to go to such a fucking dark place, that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Because you just go in, you know what you got to do. You should be prepared, right? Ideally, all your ducks are in a line, and you go in prepared, and you just do it. You just, oh yeah, I've done more than last week, or yeah, or I matched last week. But
Yeah.
the thought, like to me, right, to think like I did a pendulum squat today, right, and I'm beat my numbers, and it was great. But to think about the things I'd have to think about to always add one, I'm like, bro, I haven't got it in me. I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have such fucking dark thoughts to tap into. I've got fucking demons, we all do, but they're not coming out in the fucking gym. You know?
No, and you said, look, we're also mature and we're a decade deep into this, and we've done shit.
Yeah.
I've slapped my face and fucking pounced around the gym before, and because
Yeah.
I've seen and been influenced from a young lad of seeing different things and change modalities over the way, and you find your way, and like anything in life, you find who you are as a person as you grow. But as advice, as people that's been there, done it, who are high level, coach high level, like it's got a shelf life.
Yeah.
It really has got a shelf life, and it is toxic. You should be able to turn up and do it. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be anxious before a lift on specific lifts. You absolutely should be, and lifts should scare you. Some lifts should be almost fun. Some lifts should scare you. Some sets should be fun. Some lifts should scare you. But I wouldn't recommend. I'd slowly tone it back. I don't think it's a good way. I don't think it's a good advertisement for bodybuilding either.
No, bro.
It's a lot for show. It's for show.
Yeah. I think again we can keep going back to, and I've always said, create your own version of bodybuilding. But man, like when I think of bodybuilding, like I said, it's Sunshine, it's like I said, it's Flex Lee Wheeler, it's fucking Bob Paris, all these people just looking fucking jacked in a tank top, just enjoying training, not like a hood up, listening to whatever the fuck people listen to nowadays.
Yeah.
Like getting into that mental state, like screaming and shouting preset. Let's be honest, it's not powerlifting. It's not like we're not.
No.
I can understand it to an extent when it comes to powerlifting and you're trying to like
absolutely.
Fucking that is a fight or flight adrenaline max to like lift an absurd amount of weight. But it's just bodybuilding. We're sculpturing a little a physique.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's these for me they don't go hand in hand. And like I said, we've all had days, right, where like I said, you've had good days where you go to the gym and you feel great, and you've had bad days, but you'll go to the gym and you feel better. But I'm sure on those days you're not going to like fucking deal with childhood trauma, whatever it is that you're dealing with, like I said, or the loss of a relative. Like, man, I trained the day of my grandfather's funeral, and not a single time during that session was I thinking, was I crying? Yeah, reps. I was like, I was sad, but like I was in the gym to cheer me up, not to go into, oh my God, I've lost my granddad. It was the complete opposite. It is a very weird trend going on. I do think, like I said, it's a toxic, unhealthy trend that if people who are coming into the sport or new to the sport pick up on that, like you said, it has got a shelf life. It has got an expiry date. You are burning the candle from both ends, and it'll nip at some point. It will catch up on you.
Yeah, absolutely, it will. You can't. It's not sustainable. We had Ziz and fucking the almost the Pumpy for a while. Like the influence Ziz. What for the last 40 years, people have been jacked and grew muscle. Like this isn't the way. This new crazy hardcore way. Take the positives of the sending sets and training to failure and training hard, but just remove that negative emotional attachment and that tapping into negative thoughts. It's a place to go and have fun and be happy and progress.
Bro, like I said, there's nothing wrong with some aggression, right? Like I said,
we've spoken about that. There's probably not enough aggression in the world, but
that's the thing.
Aggression, bro, not like fake put on aggression.
Not like That's the thing, is there's nothing wrong with a bit of aggression, man. And like fucking hell, when I used to watch like the motivational videos pre-gym, like back back in the day, and you'd see someone like they'd be like, ugh, and like grunting, but it wasn't like fucking screaming, slapping themselves preset, or like being upset because they fucking dropped a rep. They didn't
Bro,
count
even
reps.
watching, like, we're not the biggest fans, right? But even when you watch JP back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Once the fucker had 8 plates on a stiff leg and he shouted cunt and screamed, right?
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah,
have three.
yeah.
He wasn't
That's good.
17 doing a three
Yeah,
plate deadlift thinking about a dead nan, right? He was doing 7 plates. He was 300 pounds and he maybe
yeah,
needed it for that. But like there's
yeah,
levels again, you know, like
yeah,
even then it's like he was doing a 5 plate OHP incline or something, like he was doing
yeah.
nuts. So you get away with it and that fires you up. When you're a fucking young lad pressing 1 plate on a Smith, you don't need to think about that.
No, man.
All right.
That's write that down.
Yeah, fucking food
Put
for thought,
that,
guys. Okay.
put that on a t-shirt. You don't need to think about your dead nan.
Right, we're bringing out Peaking It Real merch. You don't
Get
need to
it
think
real.
about your dead nan. Leave dead nan out of this.
It is true, man. It is very true, and it is like I said, I think it is like a bit of a UK culture, and just like the baggy hoodies and the fucking hell. We've discussed this outside of bodybuilding of like almost like a trend of being just depressed and shit, in
Yeah.
this day and age.
Yeah.
Like people being like just, oh yeah, I'm upset, I'm unhappy, all this shit's going on in my life. But man, it's all like how you view it, and I view bodybuilding as a positive, happy place. When do you like Happy Gilmore? Go to your happy place.
Yeah. Imagine
That's
doing the
me,
thing you
man.
love for years on end every day for it to be not happy. Fuck me.
Yeah, the thing you do every day is where you are the most negative.
Yeah.
Great.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It makes no sense. It's absolutely crazy.
that's where when you break it down like that, it makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. But we've also got another topic in terms of, again, it's for younger people, or actually it's any age, to be fair, of starting PEDs. I think we want to touch upon maybe when's the right time. And I know it's a very, there's no right time, but I do believe you need to have years under your belt naturally. I don't think you need to reach this natural potential shit. I don't think you ever do. There's no natural ceiling. Realistically, probably the best natural bodybuilders are 35 to 40 years old, but I think you need to firstly understand if you love the sport. And then you need to have everything else lined up: training, nutrition, recovery, consistency. It's the same as the peptides. The peptides are kind of like these new peptides that everyone wants to use. They're the new PEDs for like assisted guys. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to improve my mitochondrial health, but I don't do any cardio. I'm fat. I slam gear. My oxidative stress through the roof. So I'm going to take NAD plus.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. I'm going to take all this mitochondrial peptides and then I'm going to overdrive my mitochondrial to the point where they're creating so much oxidative stress. It's worse. It's absolutely crazy. But like, I digress. Like, yeah, the gear's the cherry on top, but then it becomes the cake. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The cherry on top of the process, but then it's the cake in terms of obviously it's game changing if
Yes.
you get.
I mean, the one thing that just to touch upon what you said about like the natural potential, I agree completely. When people are like, oh, no, I'd like to reach my natural potential first. It is the case of like you don't really ever reach it, but when you do, you probably won't know. And then by the time you've reached it, and you do go think, oh, dear, I'm going to go assisted now. It's probably too late, you know. But I do think, and that's again one thing I think people forget about is like just like everything else, the drugs have their place, but they don't replace anything.
No.
It's like you have to have everything in line. And like, fucking hell, for me alone, like going assisted, the only thing I'd done is obviously I added assistance, but I also improved everything I'd done. And it wasn't a case of like, oh, now that I'm taking this, I can just slack a bit on my diet. It's like, no, now more than ever, it's you have to take that extra step up. And it's not to, yeah, ideally, to get the most out of the drug as well. But otherwise, there's so much more for room for progress across the board that until you nail those things and you're able to nail them consistently for years on end, you have no right to even consider taking PEDs because that's that's why at least I would think anyway. And I do think, obviously, again, it's fucking trendy, isn't it? People want to take drugs because they, but I think there's nothing, I won't say funnier, right? But you'll see a lot of people will be like, it's drugs. I need to take drugs or I need to take more of them. They'll do that and they just look the same. And you're like, I told you so, but now it's a bit too late for you because now you ruined X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
And you see it so yeah, especially fucking man, the amount of people I can speak from my gym alone, right? The amount of people, the amount like the take what they take and the amounts they take, I am mind blown.
Yeah, I know.
And then I like I said, I don't like to disclose what I take, but I'd be like, I don't take that, and they're like, Nah, I don't believe you. And I'm like, trust me, I don't. And like it's just fucking crazy. So I don't know where these people are getting the knowledge from, but it's a very trendy thing, man. I think, especially when you have it like publicized, and that's the only like double-edged sword of where we are right now in terms of like bodybuilding is like it's more discussed than ever,
Yeah,
but it's more available than ever, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
people do put one and one together, or they think that they're putting one and one together all the time. That if you are a bodybuilder, you need to take drugs.
Mm,
Or that it's like I train and I take drugs. I don't worry about what I eat. I just need to eat some food, and I don't worry about my health. I don't worry about my bloods. I don't worry about my supplementation. It's just eat, train, and take drugs, and I'll look a certain way.
yeah. It's the worst place. The worst thing you can possibly think is I can ease up because I take drugs.
Mm,
That's the worst thing to think. Like I can actually take my foot off the gas
yeah,
because now I take drugs. You have to have everything in line. Everything.
I bro,
How would you take
I'll
something that's taken years off your life and then
yeah,
relax and everything else? Like you need to claw them years back with the nutrition, with the
yeah,
supplementation, with everything else. Um, pick your poison there and just keep with that. It's the same that, like, obviously we've discussed in my opinion, the raving culture and the going out culture in bodybuilding. Like, I think it's a little bit of like pick your poison to an extent. And I
mm,
know some do it maybe once a year, whatever. But like, yeah, pick your poison. You're already taking drugs. Um, but it's less taboo, so it is more accessible. I think from a wider audience, from a public perspective, like kids in the gym, young lads in the gym, they would always be you're a Roy dead, or he's on steads and never touch him. But I do think now, because it is less taboo and it is spoken about, that you do get more that are taking assistance that aren't even competitive bodybuilders and whatnot,
mm,
which I have no issue with, in the sense of like, you don't have to. I don't think getting a British final invite at PCA regional merits you to take drugs over someone who maybe wants to look good on holiday. Like, you do what you
yeah,
want. That whole argument of like you got to compete to take drugs doesn't make sense. It's a fucking
mm,
plastic trophy. Or
yeah.
like you could come dead last, but because you've competed, you're allowed to blast 3 gram of gear. But like, yeah, it is a case of make sure that everything's lined up before looking down the anabolic route.
Yeah.
Make sure you want to be in this sport for a long time, because like, you look at you, bro, you took a long time to really commit to that decision, bro. Like, you
Oh
did,
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
seriously long time, despite knowing where you really wanted to end up. It's
Yeah.
you took your time with the conclusion, and was like, even the first part, it was still, oh, fucking hell, should I have done it, should I not? Don't jump into it
No.
like it's nothing, because a lot comes with it.
What I'll say, right, and like people when they say to me like, "What's the difference?" and I'll say, "Look, I don't condone taking drugs." And I've said this before in here, right? The only way to describe it is I feel enhanced. I don't feel a whole lot different. Obviously, I remember what I feel like naturally, right?
Yeah,
Some people have been taking gear for so long that I can't remember what I felt like. I reached a pretty high level naturally. I know how I felt physically and mentally to be at the top of something. And then to make that decision was somewhat of a gamble, right? It's always a gamble. So you think, fuck, do I just stay here, comfortable, be one of the best in the natural field,
yep.
or do I take that gamble and go down that route? And what I'll say is enhanced bodybuilding is so much harder. In
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
ev-
yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion, it's
It's
so much harder. And like again, I've lived both. In the last year, I've lived both. It's so much harder. There's so much more to think about. There's so much more that you didn't consider before. There's so much more that previously, even like I thought about this so many times, and I discussed it with you and people, and there's still things that creep up now that I wasn't even aware of, right? And it's just all a learning curve of being like, was it the right choice? Yes. But I don't think it's what people think it is. You
Agreed.
know? It's not like people are like, oh my God, you're gonna feel like Superman. I'm waiting for that. You know what I mean? Like I feel good. I feel great. I feel fucking awesome. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not walking in places thinking I can run through fucking walls and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I
and
think there's
that's
a
and
big
I but
misconception among naturals of what you sometimes might feel,
yeah.
For sure, like, when you've got some Slinnen and GH and got all like super
Yeah.
joggers in the peak, like you have that look and that feel and that burst. But like when you just go like from TRT to 300 tests, like you're not like fucking,
Yeah.
you don't feel like Superman. I also think when you take the leap, assisted bodybuilding's harder competitively.
Oh yeah,
Because
100%.
if
Fuck
you
me.
are a good natural, you're
Yeah.
probably going to win every show you do. Like
Yeah.
realistically, until you get to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
international level and whatever, if you kind of win overalls at a young age naturally, you're probably going to keep doing that every season and work through.
Mhm.
When you go assisted and the pool is so much bigger, pro qualifiers abroad, this person's taking 5 gram and then this person's taking
Yeah.
like 500 and like the possibilities open up quite a lot more. I think then that's harder as well. Like you are going to you've gone from the top technically to the bottom of the food chain because
Oh,
you've
bro, yeah, I'm
been
awesome.
assisted
Yeah.
yet or whatever. But like, you've taken that huge leap down. And so you've got to consider that as well, that it is harder than natural
Yeah.
from a
I think, man, fucking hell, like, full transparent. I think making the decision at the time was even harder the longer I've done it. Does that make sense? Because it's like,
yeah.
yeah, fucking hell, I'm giving up quite a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
Like you said, I could go and just keep winning shows, you
Yeah.
know? Do I just keep on
Absolutely.
doing that? Do I just run it? Do I then I don't have to worry about my health? Not worry about my health, but do I have to worry about all these things? Do I just keep on going as a natural bodybuilder until I get bored and then I can just go and do something else? But then you're like, nah, if I'm here, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna see what happens. So yeah, man, fucking hell, and something that I never considered, right? That training enhanced for me is harder than naturally
Do you think?
because of the pumps.
Oh, bro.
Man, like fuck me, there's days, bro, and I'll do a set, and I'm like, whoa, like no, like I can't, and I'm like, I can't move,
Yeah, yeah. You're
and it's
stopping. You're
restricted.
stopping. Sometimes the reps cutting short because of blood flow and pump, like not failure.
It's so much, bro. Like, especially again, we talk about my quads, right? I'll do like 2 sets of leg extensions to warm up, and I can't do any more because there's so much blood in my quads, and I'm like, okay, this has to be a set, you know. And bro, it is like the feeding in the muscle, and again, I don't condone it, but it does. It enhances everything. That's it. I feel enhanced both within the gym and out of the gym. But it's not like I've taken that now and it's changed absolutely everything. It's like everything was in line. I improved everything by 10%. I look after my health more than I ever have. I'm constantly trying to improve the things I do. And it's just like that little bit that we've added in. It's just like you said, it is the cherry, but it will become the cake,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And that's what's going to take me from where I was to where I am. I like you said about being like at the top, and then you trade in the card in to be like, yeah, you're at the top now, but now you're going all the way down to the bottom.
yeah,
And until I compete, I'm at the bottom. I'm literally
yeah.
like down there. It doesn't matter who I, do you know what I mean? I could look the way I do right now, but if I don't step on stage, I'm still one of the worst fucking assisted bodybuilders out. So I haven't placed yet, you know? Realistically, I haven't placed
Yeah,
against
yeah, yeah.
when you
Of
think
course,
about
of
it, and
course.
and people are like, oh, you're gonna go for it and get your pro card. I'm like, bro, do you know how good these people are? Do you know how good how many people there are in this world?
Yeah.
You've only seen me compete against 100 different natural bodybuilders.
Mhm.
I'm talking now in a season, you're talking thousands.
Yeah.
I think people the perception of what like um
Well,
of
look,
what
go
people
to
look like
go
and stuff
to
like
a
that.
go to a big pro qual, bro, and you're going to go from 20 in 20 in a natural classic division to 20 in your height class.
In height class, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got
Mhm.
to beat 20 to get into an overall, and then beat the next four, three, four, five, whatever. Like
Yeah.
the pool's just increasing. It's even harder and harder and harder. Um, something
Do you
about the
think?
pumps.
Go on,
Sorry, go
go
on.
on, go on. No, no, no.
I say
It was,
quickly
it was
something about
yeah.
you
Go
go.
on. No, no, it was on topic but off topic. So you talk about the pumps.
I was going to say something about the pumps I get all the time is obviously coaching a fair amount of assisted females when like assistants goes in for girls, bro, because they've got no like sort of minimal test anyway. They don't feel androgens. bro, their pumps, like they're just all they report back is like, I've never felt fucking pumps like this. Like it's mental for them.
You know what? That's funny you say that because Lara, right? Obviously, Lara, my missus, completely natural, and will do anything, right? And I mean, I'll be doing my hair. Obviously, I do my hair. Yeah, I'll do my hair. And I'll be like this. 30 seconds, my delta pump. And I'm like, I can't. I'm like, can you do the rest? I can't do any more because I can't move, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, I'd love to know what it feels like to be that pumped all the time. And I'm like, trust me, you actually wouldn't. It
Yeah,
is like there's certain things that I do on my day-to-day basis. Like I'll just get such a pump from doing it. Like I'll be brushing my teeth or whatever the fuck it is. And I'm like, holy shit.
yeah, it's
And then when
debilitating.
we train and she'll look at me and she's like, I'll look normal and I'll do a set and I just go like this, right? And she's like, fuck, I'd love to know what that feels like.
What was you going to say? What was the other thing?
Oh, I was gonna touching upon like the when to go assisted. Because again, like you said about the gym bro against the full time bodybuilder, right? There's no right or wrong in terms of taking assistance. But if you again, I don't know how to word this, but would you recommend someone, right, who is a natural bodybuilder who isn't maybe the best? Like they come in, I'm talking like fifth, sixth in regional shows, and they'll never get like a British title or whatever it is. Would you say to them, I don't recommend them go assisted, but if they said to you, look, I want to go assisted, and I'm sure, look, I'm sure you've had people come to you, and it's always their choice, right? But I've always been very like confronted with this because my opinions changed on it as the years go on. Do you know what I mean?
I'll give an example of a client, right?
Yeah,
Matt
Matt.
Egerton,
Oh, Megatron. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Megatron, right?
Megatron.
Fifth or fourth, maybe British finals team. So he's all right, all right.
Yeah.
Absolutely blown up going assisted.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, caveat, he also doesn't fucking miss a beat.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Insane bodybuilder from a adherence standpoint, consistency standpoint, blown up. And you probably would not expect him, even structurally, to look the way that he does because he's grown into his frame. So I don't think response to anabolics is not dictated by like your genetic makeup in terms of how you look naturally. Your genetic makeup makes up how you respond to anabolics, but you can't look at a physique and go, he's going to respond. I've seen great natural bodybuilders not do much assisted because they don't respond as well to anabolics and they're not quote unquote like your hyper responders and whatnot. So I don't think so. I mean, look, if you are dreadful, you're probably going to be dreadful. If you've got a dreadful structure, you're not going to have a different structure. But I wouldn't let it put you off. I wouldn't say you need to go assisted. Sometimes you look at someone to and you go, you just need some fucking tests, bro.
Yeah, you need to do something about that.
But like, yeah, I'm not saying like anyone should do it, and I'm not saying it's a reason to do it just because you don't place where you want to. But I would say that the top of the top within assisted bodybuilding is predominantly it's genetic based, isn't it? But then when you're looking at natural bodybuilding, the top there winning the shows, the pool's smaller. It is genetics based of why they're realistically there. Obviously, hard work, consistency, but like they have got a little bit superior genetics in my opinion. And so I wouldn't be so disheartened from coming fifth or sixth and not one. He's chucked his water bottle everywhere. He's going skits. He's going skits.
Well, the last thing I'll ask you on that, right? Because obviously we'll take Matt as someone who doesn't miss, and I'm sure Matt's watching right now.
One sec. Norman, come here. Come on. All right. You better not wolf, okay? There you go. Yeah, go on.
Well, obviously someone like Matt, right, who is extremely adherent to the plan, to probably more adherent than 99% of the people, not just open bodybuilders, right? 'Cause there's probably not even an open bodybuilder that's as adherent as him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So I understand what you mean. Because if you did look at him previously, you'd probably be like, don't know.
Because he never missed as a natural. He was the same.
But that's the thing, right? But because he has such high adherence levels and he doesn't miss, and then like you said about the cherry on top with with the drugs. I'm sure at a certain point, because he's pretty young. What is he, 20, 21, 19?
It's 20 now, yeah, 20, yeah.
20. So I'm sure if you give him 5 to 6 more years in natural bodybuilding, he probably would have grown a lot more into his frame. He probably would have been a somewhat competitive open bodybuilder as
Yeah,
well, right?
yeah.
But then what if you had someone come to you, right, opposite, that you think, fuck, you got good structure, but misses on the diet, cheats, binges on prep, all these other. So not the complete opposite, but you look at him and go, do you know what? That's a good structure. Genetically, you're put together very well. You could put on a lot of muscle, but they don't have all the other ducks in line. But plus, maybe even mentally, they're just like not there. How do you handle that?
I'd say don't do it.
That's the thing, right? That's where I used to be like, I'd still go for it, but that's something that's changed my mind a lot as
Yeah,
well.
I'd say don't do it. I'd say it's not. Well, I've got, and I'm even like it with current clients that are assisted and they do post show and they don't handle post show well. And it's not just not handling post show well because I think you've got, yeah, I think post show you've got a period of time where you can't get away with it, but I can understand.
Yeah,
Then you get to the point where you're taking the piss, right? And it's like,
yeah.
like you're just being a
Mm,
dick. And I'm
mm,
like, I need 3 weeks, 4 weeks of consistency right now on cruise before we're blasting, despite your bloods being fine. Despite this, I need to see you actually now be consistent. And that's current good bodybuilders and stuff that I've got or like that I've had.
mm.
Because I won't just put gear in. Because I'm not giving you fucking drugs if you're just pissing about with everything else. Because ethically, morally, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to take some natural that misses non-stop, binges, is a nightmare of a client and say, yeah, go and have 300 mega test. Like, absolutely
All
not.
that's missing.
That's gonna just the glue. It's the glue,
Yeah.
bro. So yeah, I mean, I'd be like, it's a real shame. And I'd say to him, look, if you pulled your finger out your ass and you locked in and you give me a couple months, 6 months of a consistency and we do a good diet, then let's
Mm.
go from there. But if not, then I mean, you're just putting petrol on a fire, aren't you?
It's funny because that's kind of what I see a lot now, though. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
you get the people who just think, oh, I can get away with it. I'm genetically gifted. You know, man, I've worked with people like that, and you're like, they can't like complete a fucking week without doing something. Not even just like missing on their diet or just ruining it. You know, and you think, fuck, just give me a month, give me two, and you'll see how much change you can make. And they just can't do it. And then you get someone else, right, who might not be the most genetically gifted, who might have some issues here or there, and they're just like, boom,
Yeah.
do not. And they're just like a fucking pleasure to work with. And you look forward, it's like, but then they might not get out of it what this motherfucker got out of it by doing 10% of what they're doing, and you think, oh, life is not fair sometimes,
Bro,
man.
if them specific people can just clean it up a bit, they just win. It's bodybuilding,
I
right?
know.
Like,
It
but the
is.
thing is as well, it's are they going to pin the gear? Are they going to do it consistently? Are they going to miss
Mm,
jabs? Are they going to microdose? Are they going to take the health ups every day? Are they going to always pin the GH and the slim? Are they going to pin more? Are they going to take stuff behind
mm.
your back? Like you've got so many other things to consider that's not just even what they're currently doing. But I will say bodybuilding is a horrible, horrible sport because talent does not beat hard work. If
Yeah,
talent works a little bit hard,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
Samson, look at them all. Like
Well, it's funny enough, when we were talking about the whole like training talk and about all these demons and shit, right? I was just thinking to myself, off the top of my head, look at all these open pros. And I know what they do right now might be completely different to what they did at the start, right? But like, no one is probably as regimented as 99% of these fucking natural kids coming up right now. But none of them will ever be that,
no,
you know?
no.
And that is something to like to consider as well. Like they all like don't get me wrong, they train and they take their drugs and stuff, but it's the cream of the crop. If the top of the top of the top, like they will always rise to the top
Yeah,
as long as they got like most of their shit in check.
yeah. I know Olympia winners personally. I don't know them.
Yeah,
I know coaches and whatnot. And I know that, and I've heard they're some of their worst clients out of everyone from an
yeah,
adherence standpoint, from a cheating on their diet standpoint. but they've got the genetics to do it.
Get away with it, yeah.
You know, it is a game of genetics, bodybuilding.
But that's what I think that
every fucking sport, really, because running's the same. No one who's running like 100 meters in like 20 seconds at school suddenly works his ass off and starts running it in 9 seconds. They might run it in 17. Do you know what I mean? Like, the kid that was at 11 and then really worked his ass off got to then 9. Or there's a kid that barely tried but did it in 10. You know, like it is, sport is a game of genetics. Even like life is, you've got the kid that doesn't revise and passes a test. You've got the kid that put so much in and just scraped passing it, but the kid that barely revised got the A star.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're happy to accept genetics in any other field of life. Messi's so genetically gifted, happy to accept it. Kids in school, you could line someone up from dumbest to most intelligent. Everyone knows. Height, everyone's fine with it. Shoe size, everyone's different. When it comes to genetics in bodybuilding, it's like, no, like no. You know what I mean? Like, it's like not looked upon the same, but it literally is a game of genetics.
Yeah.
Work the hardest you can and do the best of what you've got. But like, sometimes that guy's just going to come in and just.
It is what it is.
You just accept it. It is. Yeah.
I know it is. I know. That sometimes, right? And again, that's a whole different story. But sometimes I think to myself, "Fuck," you know, if I was one of those people like that done everything and just didn't get the results, would I just go, "Oh, fuck this," you know, or would I just keep going? You know, I don't know how I'd be.
Bro, fucking keep going. Absolutely, keep going because you love it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But if you love it,
that's the ones who love it. They're the ones that are
the process driven.
Yeah, they're the process driven. The ones that are absolutely, and like, you can't knock, as we said, the young natties that are absolutely process driven at such a young age, so disciplined. Like, fucking hats off to them. Just don't think about your dead nan.
Closing conclusion. Don't think about your dead
nan. Food for thought, guys.
I love it. Oh man, that's fucking crispy.
Right, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we wrap it there? That's a pretty good return for everyone to. I'm sure they'll enjoy that.
First special guest, episode 23. First special guest on Dead Nan.
Dead Nan talk. Let's get the booze back.
Right. Sorry,
there we go.
Blurry. Right, guys, thank you for listening. We will be back weekly. Apologies for the hiatus. Please do like, share, give us some feedback, put it on your stories. Let us know if you think about your dead nan when you're hack squatting, and or what, you know, your favorite dead relative to think about.
Yeah, it could be a dog. Yeah, it could be anything.
You know, please let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace out.